Good day, everyone. Good day, Miss April Moncada. We are here today to present to you our research proposal. Let me just introduce myself and my co-members. I am Mary Joy Arda together with Miss Aballe, Miss Ando, Miss Lupian, and Mr. Eroy. Our research proposal is entitled The Influence of Nanning B by Nick Makino among AB Psychology students of University of Cebu Main Campus. Next slide, please. So for the rationale, music is a part of life. For the past decade, it has been gradually upgraded. Music can be one of the most relaxing and pleasant things. It is made up of melodies and tunes that are linked together by the singer and musicians. The influence of music can be seen in even the simple action of listening. Action. Listening to music provides everyone to be at peace to avoid some mental illness. At last, according to Hall, Associate Professor of Brigham Young University, in an increase in popular rap music led to more drug, alcohol, and sexual references in lyrics. In fact, while studying the sexual references in the song, Hall and his team noticed so many drug references that they decided to conduct additional study focusing on the substance abuse. Next slide, please. For this reason, the researcher conducted this study to find out the influence of the song Nanning B by Nick Makino among AB Psychology students of University of Cebu Main Campus. With this study, the parents and teachers could be better understand and help the students to avoid negative effects of the song. Next slide, please. So for the thesis statement, the song Nanning B by Nick Makino does not have any positive and negative influence to the students who are in college level, but it may have a massive influence to those who are not matured enough, like elementary or high school students. For the statement of the problem, this study aims to determine the influence of Nick Makino's song Nanning B on psychology. Major student at University of Cebu main campus during the second semester, school year 2020 to 2021. Specifically, it seeks to answer the following question. First, what are the common factors why students enjoy listening to the song? Second, what is the effect of the song Nanning B on the students? And last, what is the song positive message that students can learn apply their everyday lives? Next slide, please. For the theoretical background, the current study is grounded in the cultivation theory, which specifically looks at how the music influences perception of reality and states that the more person is exposed to this kind of music, the more a person begins to believe that what they are exposed to is normal or real. Gerbner et al. 1994. It may be the musicians create false reality regarding the sexual activity and potential negative effects of engaging in risky sexual behavior based on how they endorse such behavior through their lyrics and video. So listeners are then more likely to make decisions, adapt thinking process, and behave similar to the content contained in the music they are exposed to. Knowledge, Westerwick, Mosto, and Show 2008 Con, 1969 to 1983. Next slide, please. For the review of related literature, the song titled Nanning B by Nick Makino is a song that contains of sexualizing and degrading lyrics about women. It may have a massive impact to the students who are listening to this, and it may be influence their behavior and perception. So according to Palmer 2011, sexual references are common in music, and these references may influence the behavior of listeners. Considering the nature of sexual content and contained in many forms of music and the heavy listening habit of adolescents and young adults, healthcare professionals shows concern that repeated exposure to such contents obscure the line between reality and fiction for listeners. Taking into consideration current trend in risky sexual behavior, Agbo K. Robertson, 2010. Next slide, please.
So for the research methodology, in this chapter, research methodology will be discussed of what our procedure used to process, identify, select, and analyze information. The study analyzed how it affects the perception of people. The song describes sexual encounter with the woman who has a body like Nening B. With its rising popularity, it influenced the people and becomes alarming as its lyrics suggest objectification to women. Research participants of this study were first-year to fourth-year students. The researcher used the convenient sampling method, which is a random selection procedure. It was composed of 10 participants of AB psychology students, and the researcher chose them in the study in reasons that they were also part of the school where the researcher studied. For the research local, it will be conducted at University of Cebu main campus through virtual. It was composed of 10 participant students under AB psychology, and the research instrument that will be used in gathering the data is online interview. In data gathering procedure, process organized, the researcher used online interview to the participants to gather the data and perform convenient sampling method, which is random selection. And first, they choose participants who are easy to reach, and after they proceed to implement the online interview, it will be conducted by the researcher within April and May 2021. Next reporter, please.
Continuation, data analysis procedure. To analyze the data, a quantitative descriptive analysis or arithmetic analysis will be used. After the data gathered procedure, transcript of the interview will be created, and the researchers will listen to the records of the interview in order to analyze it truly and to connect it to the researcher's teams properly. So, to avoid misinterpretation or bias in descriptive analysis or thematic analysis, is first, you must need to ask clarifying question. Second, is to check for alternative explanation. Third, let your participants review their answers. And last, recognize and anticipate individual differences. In findings, research presents the result based on analyzed qualitative data with the use of the content analysis method. The song gained attention for its allied copyright issue. After it reached its popularity, the internet went chaotic for its issue of objectification and sexuality. Dancing 2019. The lyrics of the Nenindi describe a sexual encounter with a woman who has a body like Nenindi. Something of that sample. With its rising popularity, its influence on the people becomes alarming as its lyrics suggest objectification of women and support the culture of rape. In explanation and interpretation, this chapter discusses the results of the study conducted based on the research question. All data and information obtained based on the research findings was conducted to obtain information in the defense protected the first year to fourth year faculty students of University of Cebu main campus. Towards the influence of the song by Nick Makino, we have created 3 different questions to be answered by 10 participants of faculty students. Explanation and interpretation. Explanation and interpretation includes the 3 questions. This is the first, what was your first impression after hearing the song from you? Second, as a student, how sexualized lyrics of many music influence your attitude? Third, is there any impact of the song with regards to the society, physically in the woman itself? At last, all of the responses of the respondents in the first, second, and third questions shows an own individual understanding that each question asked. Assessment and evaluation. The table above have shown the responses of the students to the question being asked from them. The first question, you have noticed that all of the answers came from respondents are based on their own first impression and experience after hearing the song. In the second question, you have also noticed that the respondents are very comprehensive of their own answers to the question. And also it stated the importance of being respectful and kind to one another. In the third question, respondents are stating their own answers and what are their possible impact of the song in the society, specifically in the woman industry. Next reporter, please.
Generalization. The result found that the song Nining B can influence on a University of Cebu main campus psychology student. When the respondents were asked how the lyrics of Nining B influenced their attitude nor behavior, they mostly answered the music influenced their attitude and affect their behavior. The students liked the rhythm of the song and even know the message of its lyrics with its sexualizing woman, and the results suggested that it's depend to the listener and how they handle and interpret the song. However, it can affect or influence, but maybe in 2 different ways, the negative or positive. Other are in positive way in reason to these circumstances. Instead of their mind are they think the song is a lesson. And other also in negative way in reason they are usually affected to the music as they can relate to its lyrics. Next slide, please. Comparison with other studies. Research Cogarhold, Joshua H. West, and Shane Hill from Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. Take a look at the trend of increasing use of explicit lyric in music. At Last, the author advised that they're finding very serious concern related to the promote of unhealthy sexual message in music. They conclude, popular music can teach young men to be sexually aggressive and treat women as object while often teaching young women that their value to society is to provide sexual pleasure for others. It is essential for society that sex education providers are aware of their issue and their impact on adolescent sexual behavior. Next slide, please. Strength and weakness of the paper. Strength, music is irreplaceable. It is a great importance in the life of most people. With the popularity of the song, it easily attracts its listener. This paper will guide on how to distinguish the negative and positive influence of the song, avoiding sexualizing song and understand the lyrics and significant lesson and strength in this paper. Weaknesses. Music only aims its popularity. Song with sexualizing lyrics could influence young adults in a wrong way. It can change their perception, their behavior, even in thinking style. It has greatest effect on mind that change their attitude and aggressiveness. Next slide, please.
Practical implication. A summary of this study was conducted to determine the influence of the song Nening Bay for the purpose of analyzing its lyrics. The researchers found out the following. First, the lyrics of Nening Bay promote sexual objectification of women. Second, the objectification highly visible in the verses, most especially in the chorus. Third, social media holds a big role in perpetuating of sexuality by allowing songs like Nening Bay to play. Fourth, Nening Bay poses contribution to sexuality as it makes most of the people dissatisfied just by listening to it. Lastly, banning Nening Bay from mainstream media can be a plausible option since it violates women's rights. Next slide, please. Recommendation. The influence of the song entitled Nening Bay by Nick Makino has a negative and positive results for young adults such as college students. It can affect their behavior and perspective about women, but it may have a significant effects to those who are not mature enough, such as primary or high school students. Music is an instrument that can be used to influence people's perspective. It gives motivation and confidence to change thoughts and ideas about things. And the song Nening Bay is one of the songs that can influence people's behavior. The lyrics itself, it vividly describe the woman's sexuality in an offensive and degrading manner. The college students in University of Cebu main campus, majoring in AD Psychology, majority of them gives negative feedback about the song, but it influenced their thoughts about women in positive way and gives them a motivation to stand on their own. Treasure the dignity of a woman and voice out that the song is wrong about women. Next slide, please. Summary or the conclusion. Based on the findings and conclusions, the following are offered as recommendation for possible actions. First, the listeners are encouraged to choose carefully the music they wanted to listen. Second, adults avoid listening this kind of song to children who are very innocent and curious. Third, both teachers and parents are encouraged to work hand in hand to teach the children good manners and right conduct. Fourth, similar variables need to be studied further. This time, qualitative research design is recommended to be used. That could be all. Thank you and God bless.